G'day, Dave here, the Enlightened Plumber, with today's quote. A goal that is not written down is merely a fantasy. A goal that is not written down is merely a fantasy. This is from Darren Hardy. So let's dive right in. Goals are absolutely critical for every single one of us to achieve anything. They are also good for our self-esteem and just general feelings of wellness. And they can be a measurement from other people too, as far as seeing what we've done. Not that any of us should care what anybody thinks about what we've done or how successful we are or anything like that. As far as I'm concerned, most achievements, goals and things are more for me and making me feel good, not to impress anybody else. But getting back to the quote here. So if I take any thought that I'm having, any thought of something I want or want to achieve, whether it be big, small, or what have you, I can sit in my garden, as I have done many times in the past. I looked up and I've had thoughts come through my mind of, well, let's see, I could have a big boat or a house, or maybe I'll spend the weekend fishing with friends and skydive and do all sorts of stuff. Those are things that are ideas, and they can be goals. And they can be, okay, well, maybe one day, right? It's the thoughts. Well, at that point, those are fantasies or dreams. But if I look at various different goals, whether those are the ones that I want to have, or whether they are more practical things of, okay, I want to make sure by the end of the week I've got enough food in my cupboards to last me next week or whatever. If I write them down, then it takes my thoughts here and it's locking them on paper. The action of physically writing them down, so actually writing on a bit of paper, card, or whatever with a pen, pencil, not typing. Typing will work because it's an extra physical activity, but it's not quite the same as actually going through the motions of writing down. Will lock that physical movement into the whole body and sort of locks it back in the mind as well as whatever I've just written down is now seen by me. So I've had this thought, it's a bubble, it's sort of in the ether. I've now written it down, so physiologically I've kind of done something with it. I've now seen it, and all those things together give me a feeling and emotion about what I've just written down. That gives me a certain level of commitment or buy-in for myself. And so I take that and I put whatever I've written down somewhere where I'm going to see it on a regular basis, and not only see it but actually look at it, which is more of a habit that would have to be developed. So for me, I have to develop a habit of, if I put something on the wall, that I look at it. And for me, I've certainly seen in work environments where there's notices, memos, or safety signs, they get plastered on a wall next to me. And I will look at them once or twice and go, okay, yeah, that's fine, I've read them. And then after that, they just become part of the background. I don't physically see them anymore. Even though they're there, the colors are there, the letters and everything are there, I don't see them. So when I write this goal down, I have to put it somewhere, and I have to make sure that I give myself a habit to look at it and read it every day. And that can be mirrors, that can be wherever you want it to be. So the goal has to be written down. But if the goal isn't written down, it becomes a fantasy, because it is just this thought bubble that's out there. And the universe can work with us to bring it about, depending on how much emotion and heart we've got in, as I talked about the other day. Or it'll just be nothing. It'll just be there's no reason for me to carry on thinking about it or put any emphasis on or take any actions or anything else. But if I write it down and I put it up somewhere, I'm constantly reminded of it. I see it, I've written it down, it's locked in, it becomes something. As bizarre as that may sound, it actually does become something in my world that I have now written down. So a written goal has a lot more. And the other thing is, if it is posted and seen certainly where other people can see it, or there's a list of goals that are written down that others can see, well, now other people, whether I care or not, are measuring me on whether I'm getting those goals done. So there's an extra level of commitment that just naturally comes in, because as people, even though there is no need for us to care what other people think, for ourselves naturally as humans, we do believe that if we write something down, it goes against our ethics, our character, to not meet the grade that we have set ourselves. And that is why a goal that is not written down is merely a fantasy. That's from Darren Hardy. And from me, Dave, the Enlightened Plumber, have yourselves an awesome day. Take any goal, whatever it is, with big or small, write it down, stick it up somewhere good. We'll see you on the next one. Take care.